So, good morning. So, today I'm going to talk a bit about trust, and that's trusting ourselves. So, as a leader, it's absolutely paramount that we trust ourselves. How often, though, do we feel we go for the shoulds, what we must do? And that comes from our ego, opposed to our intuition, which is there all the time. It's our greatest cheerleader, it's our greatest sat nav, but it's often a little quiet whisper that we can not listen to because this other loud noise is screaming at us saying, don't do it, whatever it is. So I think as a leader, trusting ourselves is absolutely key. And the thing about trusting ourselves is we can only delegate effectively if we trust ourselves, because it's all very well. We have to trust ourselves that we're doing the right thing, handing the right stuff over to other people. And I think what's so interesting with delegation is so often I see leaders, they're like doing a bit of micromanagement. And there's a difference between trusting your team and trusting yourself to delegate effectively. So what happens, I'm sure you've had experience when somebody's been micromanaging you, and actually it's because they don't trust themselves to delegate effectively. And because they don't trust themselves, they can't trust you. And nothing is more annoying when you've been given a task or a project to do and your boss doesn't trust you and keeps checking up on you. Are you okay with this? Are you okay with that? Have you done this? Have you done that? And I think the other thing about delegation, which is really interesting, is we all work differently. And I know that sounds obvious to say, but we all work differently. And I always have a great funny conversation with my husband. We're always talking about the fact that I was always doing my homework on a Friday night for the weekend, so it's done out the way. He was always doing it on the bus to school on a Monday morning. And that shows up in the rest of our life. So just because you might be working or you might work differently. So for example, if you're given a task, you might be one that actually needs a massive pressure in order to get it done, and you always get it done. You are the person frantically going to bed late the night before exams at school, whereas others were like sleepy because they'd done all the revision because they'd actually planned it. Now I'm a bit of a mixture of both, actually, depending on what the deadline is. So I think it's just awareness that if we trust ourselves, we trust that we've handed over an act to someone else, a task to someone else, and hopefully we trust them. Now, there's a difference between micromanagement and giving clear deadlines, because obviously you want reassurance to know that the task is in progress and it's been done okay. Plus, if you know your team really well, you'll know that person, I have to trust them. I have to hold my nerve. They might not have started it yet, but I guarantee that's some great work at the end when they got the deadline. Or you might know someone else that starts the project straight away, gets it done early. And if they haven't handed it to you a bit early, you think, oh, are they okay? So it's having those moments with your team to actually know them for a start, but also to know how they work, so that you can have that reassurance that if they're a last minute person, you trust that they've got everything on track, and actually that then the day before, the week before, whatever it is, then you can then sort of start discussing stuff with them. So trusting ourselves often starts in childhood. And it's when we trust, if we've had an adult that's not performed as we would wish, a significant parent who we feel has let us down, or a teacher or someone significant in our lives, that can start a story that we don't trust ourselves, because we think it can't possibly be me. I'm a little girl, little boy. I don't know anything. They know everything. We have this sort of subconscious weird stuff going on in our head. And therefore that can show up later, that we don't trust ourselves. So have a notice today when you're not trusting yourself. And it could be something as simple as double checking that you've locked the back door, for example. Or it could be that you notice that you need more reassurance from your team that they're getting on with what they need to get on with. So it shows up in all sorts of ways. So have a think about trusting yourself today, and just have a great day. And just notice all these little tips I share. It's really just noticing what you're doing, noticing how you're performing, noticing what's going on in your head, what story you might be making up. It's not based on reality. And then once we ditch those stories, and obviously that takes some conversation sometimes, once we ditch those stories, honestly, life can be so much simpler. So look after yourself, take care, have a good day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow. Bye.